What is up guys, this is Studio back with another video on the Redmi Note 10 Pro, and today in this video I'm going to be showing you the latest ArrowOS on this device. And this is the 5th of May 2021 build of the latest ArrowOS build, and this one is different. Why, you may ask? Well, this one has DC-dimming support, which is not even there in MIUI. That is just amazing, and that is there because this is a OSS vendor based ROM, not a MIUI vendor based ROM. And before I start talking about OSS vendor, that is just an open source vendor and it is not based on MIUI vendor. So if you're flashing any other ROM from like ArrowOS, if you're clean flashing and going next to another particular ROM that is based on MIUI vendor, you have to flash the MIUI vendor or firmware before flashing that other ROMs which are based on MIUI vendor. Again, this ArrowOS is totally based on OSS vendor. It is not based on MIUI vendor. The OSS vendor is included in the ArrowOS ROM file, and of course the GApps is also included. This is the ArrowOS version 11 again, and based on Android 11 of course. And if you do not know at all how to flash a custom ROM on the Redmi Note 10 Pro, you can check out the card right there or follow the description box. Also, one thing to mention over here about the OSS vendor stuff, that you might be worried that it will break your sensors or something. Let me tell you, it did not happen. Let me quickly show you over here. The DRM info still is L1 as you can see, but I am still on this particular ROM. I have not switched to a MIUI vendor based ROM yet, but yeah, right now as you can see the DRM certification still shows as L1. So that simply means I can stream Netflix or Amazon Prime videos, 1080p here, and my sensors are also totally working fine. As you can see from this CPU-Z's sensor section, as you are noticing, these are totally working flawlessly, no issues whatsoever. Even I have seen auto brightness is working flawlessly. You should not worry about anything over here. If you are like coming to this OSS vendor based ROM, it will not break your sensors or something. But if you are worried, and I am worried too, so that's the reason why I have backed up my Persist image. So if you are wondering how do we do that, well, you need this particular command which is coming on the screen. I'll put that in the description box below too. You just have to write that in your recovery's terminal. Let me show you how can you do that with the TWRP recovery. And also let me tell you, only do this backup if your sensors are working fine and they are showing up everywhere and you have L1. That's when it will be useful. And here in the TWRP recovery right now, as you can see, if you go into the backup, there is no persist option. So for that, with that command, you just go to the advanced settings. Then from here, you just select terminal and then just write over here the text which is showing up on the screen. Just follow that and you can have your Persist image backed up. Then you can make it a RAR file or something like I did, and you can just like upload it to your drive or something and keep it safe, so that in case in future if you break your sensors, you can restore it back again. And if you are worried about the full instruction how to restore and how to back up everything, like you can do it with the ADB, you can do it with the recovery also. So yeah, those kind of things, you can get the full instruction from the description box below. Do not worry about that. And this is how the Android version section looks like. We have the ArrowOS logo up top and we have the ArrowOS version as Android 11 of course, as you can see. And if you're noticing, the security patch is of latest May 5th, 2021. The stock kernel is PUBG kernel. The build date is 10th of May 2021 again. In the system panel, we do have a system updater and you can of course check for updates. And if you were on the previous build of ArrowOS, you can, I think, dirty flash it, or I would recommend just doing a clean flash. And we have Gboard as default keyboard over here because of course this ROM includes the GApps. Now this is how the settings panel looks like. And before I jump into the settings, let me show you, there is the like high refresh rate over here in this device specific settings, as you can see. So 120 Hz is working flawlessly. Also, we do have the DC dimming. That is just amazing that these kind of features can be added on this device. And I am just like surprised to see this feature working flawlessly. So about DC dimming, if you do not know what that is, and for AMOLED displays, this is a really like needed feature because AMOLED screens usually does flicker a lot more than like normal LED screens. If you have DC dimming feature, like the K20 Pro by default has DC dimming feature out of the box, but this Redmi Note 10 Pro simply does not. That is why features like this does matter. And here, let me show you the difference. By the way, the display refresh rate is completely set to 120 Hz, and as you can see, it's pushing about 119, 120 FPS as you are noticing. So yeah, display is currently running at 120 Hz. And right now, if I disable the DC dimming, let me show you by going to the home screen. Let me lower the brightness a little bit. So on the left side, I will show you without DC dimming, and on the right side, I will show you with DC dimming, so that you guys can get an idea with low brightness how much the DC dimming actually works. In the home screen, and right now in the test UFO website. And by the way, I'm on the same kind of brightness. I did not increase the brightness at all. So yeah, if you ask me personally, the DC dimming is right now working flawlessly over here with 120 Hz. That's the most important thing. And I am just in love with this particular ROM because of this feature. And it also has amazing amount of features. But yes, this is so far one of the most important features I think for the Redmi Note 10 Pro that should have been added, and right now it's there. I'm really happy about it. And I would say the only thing that I'm still disappointed about with the Redmi Note 10 Pro is that the flashing procedure. Well, if you're switching ROMs on the Redmi Note 10 Pro right now, you should know that you have to format data every time if you're changing to a particular different ROM over here. If you're updating, then you are fine, you can just dirty flash it. But if you are moving to like another custom ROM, you have to clean flash. Then it is a bummer in my personal opinion that you have to format data. Otherwise the ROM simply boots into the like home screen directly. You can't set up or something. So yeah, that's how it is. If you want to know what I'm talking about, you can check out the like changing ROM kind of video what I made previously. So yeah, as of right now, that's the case. Now, one more bug, let me tell you about this as of right now. I have also informed this issue to the developer, and he said he will fix this IR Blaster issue in the future updates. But right now, if you want to fix it, you have to set the SE Linux policy to the permissive mode or something. I am not really sure about that, but yeah, let me show you. The IR Blaster is not working over here. As you can see, I'm pressing over here, but it simply is not working. As of right now, the IR Blaster is broken on this latest build, but it will be fixed in the future updates, so you should not worry much about it. It's a very minor issue again. Now, all other things, let me show you this like launcher. This is still the ArrowOS launcher that you get by default, and we have the suggestions disabling option and stuff. Let me go back. We have the allow edit, then the show Google app and show search bar, notification gestures, double tap gesture like the double tap to sleep. Anywhere in the home screen is there, and as you can see right now, you can lock the device just like this. So let me show you over here again. Let me tell you, I have always on display turned off. That's why it's not appearing. I'll turn it on later. Let me show you again. As you can see, the fingerprint scanner speed is very reliable over here, and it unlocks 100% of the time. Of course, if you don't have any finger not registered, that won't unlock. Only registered fingers, as you can see, and it is actually working flawlessly. No issues whatsoever. The fingerprint scanner speed is blazing fast and very reliable and accurate fingerprint scanner experience here. And in the home screen to the left, we get the Google's Discover page. Everything is just buttery smooth that I am liking over here. The performance with this OSS vendor is just amazing. And as you can see, the quick settings panel and stuff, they are very smooth too. And app drawer is working fine. You can search for any particular app over here. No issues with that. Widgets and stuff in the home screen are totally working fine. And if you want to add multiple toggles over here, as you can see, quick setting toggles are also there, and you can add these many toggles. Let me show you. I have added some, of course, and we have the dark theme and stuff. Night light is also working flawlessly again with DC dimming turned on, and as you are noticing, it is working fine. And we have the Android 11 screen recorder with that device audio and the microphone audio recording feature is also there. Now let me show you. We have the peak notification, the hotspot, then the do not disturb, data saver, and this volume kind of toggle, which also surprisingly says do not disturb. You can tap and hold on it to get the volume panel over here. As you can see, you can expand it just like this. So yeah, very cool. And we also have the reboot toggle. So if you want to directly reboot to recovery with the reboot toggle itself, you can do that. You don't have to like press the power button at all to like do the advanced reboot things. And of course, in the power menu, we do have Google smart home control. So you can turn on any smart home lights if you have some in your house. And if you have advanced reboot turned on, as you can see, they appear over here. You can directly reboot to recover your first boot again from here. By the way, the stock camera is still the old kind of Google camera. It's a very basic camera. Not going to talk about this much. And here the front camera and stuff, everything should be working fine, as you can see. But yeah, this is a very basic camera. If you want to install ANX camera or any Google camera, I'll list them below. And if you want to see the ANX camera flashing guide, here is a card for you. You can get the complete flashing guide, and you can get ANX camera or just like the MIUI camera over here working flawlessly in a custom ROM. If you want to have that, just watch that ANX camera video from the card right there. Now in the settings panel, this is how it looks like. We have the battery settings first, and we have the full battery usage of course over here, and you can see the full battery usage from here, and there is the last full charge, the screen on time, the battery temperature, the battery manager, battery saver, and the battery icon style is also there too. And as you can see, these are the icons you get, and you can also set the battery's percentage next to the icon or inside the icon from here. Let me go back, and I do not have a SIM card over here because of that like formatting data kind of stuff. I did not put my SIM card here, but the VoLTE calling and stuff should be working fine. Even Vio Wi-Fi should be working fine here. In the display settings, we have the brightness level and the dark theme, night light, etc. Adaptive or auto brightness is working fine again. Styles and wallpapers is also there, and you can set a custom theme, and over here you get these many fonts, and we have these many icons. Then we have these many like the accent colors over here. You also have these yellow and stuff. If you want to set that, you can definitely do that over here, no issues whatsoever. Let me go back. We have the wallpapers option, and here you get this default wallpaper of ArrowOS, but I have been using a wallpaper from the Wallpy app. I'll list that below in the description. And we have these like always on display clocks, as you are noticing. And from here, let me go back. We have the lock screen option. Then over here we have the always show time and info. If you enable that, that is the always on display, and you can have it turned on from here. I had it off because I was just not using the always on display. And here we have the screen of animation too. You can set it to CRT or scale. Then we have the display media cover art, lock screen, charging info. Everything is working fine. Then we have the double tap to wake, that is working fine too. Enable blurs option is also there. As you can see, if I pull down the quick settings panel, this is the background blur you are noticing. Font size, display size, the DPI you can customize. In the weather, we have the weather settings and stuff. Then inside status bar, we have the headset, Bluetooth, etc. icons over here. Let me go back in the sound settings. We have the media, volume, etc. options. Then show volume panel on the left is also there, and that is actually working fine, as you are noticing. And we have the dial pad tones, the screen locking sound charging vibration, and the touch vibration is also there. In-call vibrations are also there, as you can see, the vibrate on connect, call waiting, and disconnect. But let me tell you, there is no option for the Mi Audio Dirac as of right now. And here, if you scroll down, we have the buttons and gestures, and in the buttons we do have the enable advanced reboot option. I have showed that advanced reboot options already. And in the power menu actions, you can have the screenshot, screen record, etc. options. Invert layout is also there, playback control, volume awake, etc. is there. In the gestures, we have the quickly open camera, then activate the torch, and there we also have this long press power button toggle torch. There is no double press power button to toggle torch here. Let me go back. We have the gesture navigation, and here if you go into the settings, we have the gesture bar length customization, and if you go back, we have the 2 and 3 button navigation. So yeah, very simplistic. And we also have the swipe to take screenshot. Let me show you. We have the share, edit, and delete option, so no long screenshot option, I think, as of right now. And in the power menu, we have the device controls, then the sensitive content, and that's pretty much it. We also have the double tap to sleep on the status bar. Right now in the security, we have the fingerprint option, and here if you go into the settings, we have the fingerprint behavior over here. You can set it to touch or press, so that is amazing that you can change between these. And like MIUI, you can set it to press, so that if you accidentally touch the fingerprint scanner, it won't unlock your phone. So yeah, that is great. We have the power button instantly locks, and also we have the lock screen timeout over here. Now let's just quickly set up the face unlock, and let me show you. So setting up of the face unlock is done, and right now I'll just double tap anywhere in the home screen. I'm not touching the fingerprint scanner, if you're noticing. So right now if I double tap, and as you are noticing, the unlocking speed is very fast. Let me show you one more time. As you are noticing, the face unlock is working flawlessly again, no issues whatsoever. It is very fast and snappy face unlock experience in my opinion. And this is how the app locking stuff looks like, and this is the app locker you get in most custom ROMs right now. And as you can see, we have these lock app icons, so you can search for any particular app over here like this, as you can see, and you can also hide their notification from here, and then you can set the lock app after instantly 15 seconds or screen off. If I set it to 15 seconds, and right now as you can see, if I open an app, this is how the interface looks like. You can touch the fingerprint scanner or use the pin or use your face data. So right now if I touch the fingerprint scanner, and as you can see, that app particularly unlocks. So yeah, very cool, and it will stay unlocked for 15 seconds, then it will be locked automatically. Again, I have to enter my fingerprint over here if I want to like unlock that particular app after 15 seconds. So yeah, pretty much this is what I like about ArrowOS. This is very convenient over here with stock Android flavor, and it has the most important customization that someone particularly needs, and double tap to sleep and the double tap to wake, everything is working fine. As you can see, the experience over here is very flawless in my personal opinion. Now talking about the performance, again, it hits 120 FPS in this test UFO website. I have never seen that in any custom ROM on the Redmi Note 10 Pro at least, and right now it's happening, so that is just amazing. And if you want to see the benchmarks, here are the end-to-end Geekbench scores of this ROM. So right now, if you are worried about memory management on this particular ROM, I have opened a couple of apps, and right now let me just show you. And by the way, this is how the recent panel looks like. We have the screenshot option, clear all option, and if you want to go to the split screen, you can go from right here. And right now, let's just open all these apps from memory. Chrome is in memory, YouTube still in memory, Twitter is in memory, Play Store is in memory, Files still in memory, Facebook still in memory, Instagram is in memory, Google Home is in memory. So no issues whatsoever with the memory management, and very good memory management over here, as you can see. So yeah, in my personal opinion, the memory management won't be giving you any kind of issues. The RAM management over here is just flawless, and the performance is just buttery smooth of this ROM. At least 20 times better than MIUI in my personal opinion. Also talking about Google Assistant, you can say, "Hey Google," and as you can see, that will bring your Google Assistant. And this is the new kind of Google Assistant. It has these colors and stuff. So yeah, very good that it also has the Google Assistant working with the voice trigger. Talking about some basic things like the Safetynet and stuff, yes, they will be passing right out of the box over here. You can also get it passed with Magic too, but right out of the box also the Safetynet passes over here, so you should not worry about the banking apps on this ROM. The DRM info again stays L1, so you should not worry about losing your Widevine certificate over here. It won't switch to L3 or something. The L1 certificate is still there, but even if you're worried about that, just back up your Persist kind of partition like I said in the beginning of the video, and that way you can have your like certificate safe or your Persist kind of safe over here. The only thing as of right now is weird that the like IR blaster is not working, and that will be fixed in the future updates. Like that's not a huge issue at all. So in my personal opinion, again, ArrowOS is still one of the best ROMs for the Redmi Note 10 Pro, and right now it is almost as good as like having an amazing stock Android ROM on your device right out of the box, and it just feels like this ROM is made for this device, except for the stock camera. Just ignore that. So yeah, that's how I feel about the latest ArrowOS on the Redmi Note 10 Pro, and this ROM again is running surprisingly well for a device which is just costing 17,000 rupees, and you're getting this kind of experience. I'm just surprised with this kind of performance over here from a custom ROM on this particular device. So huge thanks to the developer, huge thanks to the community of the custom ROMs. So yeah, thanks to you guys too for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. This is Tito from KDN Tech signing off for today, and I'll be catching you guys in the next one. Bye bye now.